Hence, in the last lecture of Unit 2, we have seen what is fluid pressure, what is atmospheric pressure, what is gauge pressure, what is vacuum pressure, and relation between these different terms. Isn't it? Today we will see the instruments which are used to measure the fluid pressure. Isn't it? First we will classify the pressure measuring instruments. Pressure measuring instruments are mainly classified under two main categories, that is manometers and mechanical gauges. In the manometers, we use liquid column as a balancing parameter for fluid pressure, isn't it? And in the mechanical gauges, some elastic member like spring or rubber or etc. is used as a balancing member for measurement of pressure. Manometers are again classified under two main categories as simple manometer and differential manometer. Simple manometer is a manometer which is used to measure pressure at a point, at a single point. Simple manometers measure the pressure at a single point of a pipe or vessel, isn't it? Differential manometers measures difference of pressures between two points. These two points may be in the same pipe or the pipes may be different. We use to measure the difference of pressure. That is why it is called as a differential manometer. Again, under simple manometers, there is a manometer, which is called as a piezometer. The details we will see further. Again, YouTube manometer, single column manometer or micromanometer. Differential manometer, under differential manometer category, there is a YouTube differential manometer and inverted YouTube differential manometer. As far as our syllabus is concerned, we are going to learn piezometer, YouTube manometer, YouTube differential manometer, inverted YouTube manometer, and bonded to pressure gauge under the mechanical gauges. This is piezometer. Piezometer is nothing but a simple L-shaped pipe or tube which is connected at the point where we want to measure the pressure. This is a pipe which is carrying certain liquid under pressure, and we have connected this L-shaped tube which is called as a piezometer to this pipe. As this pipe carries liquid under pressure, due to that pressure, the liquid will rise to certain height in this tube. Say, let us say H meters. Isn't it? So, this height to which the water or liquid has raised is indicator of the pressure in the pipe. We can straight away say that the H meters of liquid which is there in the liquid is the pressure rate in the pipe, isn't it? The advantage of piezometer is that it is very simple in construction and it can measure lower pressures. The limitation is that we cannot measure higher pressures, because if you connect this piezometer to measure higher pressures, the liquid will overflow through this opening of the tube which is there, isn't it? Another limitation is that the piezometer cannot measure negative pressures, that is pressures below atmospheric pressure. Because if the pressure is below atmospheric pressure, the as the end of this tube is open to atmosphere, air will enter into the pipe and no pressure will be shown by this instrument. This is the limitation of piezometer. So, to overcome these limitations, this piezometer is slightly modified and it has given a shape of U-tube, isn't it? And another manometric liquid is introduced here, known as commonly used as mercury. Mercury is used as a manometric liquid in the U-tube manometer. This is pipe similar to this one. carrying any liquid under pressure, and this U2 parameter is connected to this pipe to measure the pressures. What happens? Due to this pressure, the mercury is pressed below on this side of the manometer, and the mercury raises in higher than the left side of the manometer. And with the help of this, we can measure the pressures. Let us say H1 is the height between the level of mercury in the left limb and the axis of the pipe, and H2 is the height to which the mercury is raised above the ZZ level in the right limb. This is known as the right limb of the manometer, and this is known as the left limb of the manometer. We use mercury as a manometric liquid because mercury is 13.6 times heavier than the water. So we can measure higher pressures with the help of simple liquid manometers. Also, we can measure negative pressures, how we will see in the coming time. But we can measure negative pressures also with the simple U2 manometers. This level is called as the ZZ level. At this level, the pressures on the left side of the manometer and on the right side of the manometers are equal. Isn't it? Let us write the equation for this manometer. Let us assume that the liquid is having pressure head HA in terms of meters of water, isn't it? And S1 be the specific gravity of the liquid which is flowing through the pipe, and S2 is the specific gravity of the mercury, isn't it? Now, above this level in the left limb, the pressures will be pressure due to this liquid which is HA, and pressure here due to this liquid column H1 multiplied by the specific gravity of this liquid H1 S1. So pressure head in the left limb is equal to HA plus H1 S1. H1 HA is the pressure head of the liquid which is flowing through the pipe, and H1 is the height of liquid column above this common surface of between this liquid and mercury. So HA plus H1 S1 is the pressure head in the left limb of the manometers. Now, pressure head in the right limb of the manometer is only this one, H2, height of mercury in the right limb, multiplied by the specific gravity of the mercury, that is H2S2. The pressures in the left limb and right limb are equated here. HA plus H1S1 is equal to H2S2. H1S1 will go on this side, and the equation for this simple U2 manometer becomes H2S2 minus H1S1 meters of water. Here we want to note one thing, that the pressure given by this equation is in terms of meters of water. Whatever may be the liquid here, but the pressure is always in terms of meters of water. That is the point to be remembered. A very important point, because we are multiplying by the specific gravity of the liquid. When we multiply by specific gravity to the column of any liquid, it automatically converts into meters of water, isn't it? If the liquid is water, naturally the specific gravity will be 1, and whatever is the height of column, that will be the same as that liquid. That is the important point which we have to know. Let us see a problem where simple U2 manometer is used to measure pressure at a point A in a pipe which is carrying liquid of specific gravity 0.8 under pressure, and the manometer shows readings like this. 60 mm is the distance between the ZZ level and center of pipe, and 150 mm is the height of mercury in the right limb above ZZ level, isn't it? Let us write the equation for the pressure head in the left limb of the manometer above ZZ level, we know that it is HA, that is pressure head of liquid in the pipe A at this point, plus H1, that is this height multiplied by the specific gravity of the liquid in this pipe. The same liquid is here up to this point, so the specific gravity will be 0.8, 60 multiplied by 0.8. It comes out to be HA plus 48 mm of water. Now, pressure head in the right lane means the height of mercury level above ZZ level multiplied by specific gravity of mercury. That is H2S2 150 multiplied by 13.6. It comes out to be 2040 mm of water. Let us equate these two sides. HA plus H1 S1 is equal to H2S2. That is HA plus 48 equal to 2040. Here HA comes out to be 1992 mm of water and 1.992 meters of water. Isn't it? If you want this pressure in the unit Newton per meter square, multiply by this by specific weight of water, you will get it into Newton per meter square value. 9.81 multiplied by this 1.992 kilonewton per meter square. We have taken here the specific weight of water only, not the specific weight of liquid which is there, because the answer comes out to be in meters of water by using this formula. So we have to multiply by the specific weight of water. Here, simple U2 barometer is used to measure negative pressure, that is pressure below atmospheric pressure. If you observe this barometer, it shows that the level of mercury in the left lane is above the level of mercury in the right lane. It is easily noticed. By simply looking at the diagram, you must be able to say that whether the pressure is positive or negative, isn't it? As the mercury level here is below this ZZ level, the pressure in the pipe is negative, isn't it? The level of mercury in the left limb above ZZ level is 50 mm and the water level is 20 mm. The water in the pipe is the liquid in the pipe is water, which has specific gravity equal to 1, and the mercury has specific gravity equal to 13.6. Let us write the equation for this. Pressure head in the left limb of manometer above ZZ level, that is pressure here, HA is the pressure head in the pipe. The pressure due to this water column of 20 mm, 20 into 1, that is specific gravity of water, plus 50 mm height of mercury column in the left limb multiplied by the specific gravity of mercury, that is 50 multiplied by 13.6. It comes out to be HA plus 700. That is the pressure head in the left limb. Now let us see the pressure head in the right limb above ZZ level as we are going to equate it. But you will see that there is no any column of mercury or any other thing above ZZ level in this tube. So we can say that the pressure here is 0. So equating these two equations, HA plus 700 is equal to 0. So 700 will come on this side. HA, that is pressure head of water in this pipe, is minus 700 mm water, that is 0.7 mm of water. As the right limb is open to atmosphere, the barometer will give you the gauge pressure, isn't it? Below or above atmosphere, that is the gauge pressure which we say, isn't it? So pressure comes out to be 0.7 meters of water, that is minus 0.7, which is negative pressure. If you want to get in kilonewton per meter square, multiply it by specific weight of water 9.81 kilonewton per meter square. You will get it into